world. It's been a little while, another month has gone since I last made a video, but I'm back again today. Thought I'd have a little look at the Rega website. Let's bring it up a little bit. Okay, I do love that Aphelion too. And I love this ethos as well. But anyway, let's just have a little look at some products because I think there are some new ones. So let's have a look at turntables. The Planner 1. That's a new iteration of it. It's part of this deal that they do. I've talked about it before, where they do a basic turntable and an amp that's really, really basic, and a couple of tiny speakers. Will come across all of those. But yeah, this is the Planner 1, which it comes as a bundle, and basically you get a bit of a discount if you buy all three together. It's not quite what I think Rega should do. I think Rega should still make the perfect basic all-in-one system for real newbies and students and stuff like that. I'm sure they could show the likes of Ruark how it works, how it's done, basically. But yeah, maybe that's a little bit beneath them. But I do think, I don't doubt that the Planner 1 with the amp and speakers, which will come across in a minute, I don't doubt that they sound good together, but I really think that they could have made the same thing but made it much, much simpler. Here's the Planner 1 Plus. I think that adds a phono stage. It does add a phono stage. Nothing useless like USB digital transfers. If you want a digital transfer, go on to Spotify or Apple Music. Do it that way. Much, much simpler. If you want to listen to vinyl, listen to vinyl. You know, don't worry about USB transfers and stuff. I think that moving magnet phono stage could be useful for amplifiers that don't have it, but then I think you'll find that any amplifier worth its salt that's in the basic range of amplifiers from a variety of people like Denon or Marantz or Rega or anybody really, they'll stick a phono stage on their amps because they know that everyone's into vinyl. So maybe that's not quite as useful. You might be better off getting the Planner 1 and using a built-in phono stage on an amp. Right, the Planner 78 for 78, that's been here forever. The Planner 2, that's been around for quite a while now, as has the Planner 3. The Planner 6, oh look, they're now starting to put their related products with it now. What are they saying should go with the Planner 6? Complementary components, the Exact, the Anya Pro, the Afita 3, and don't put an Afita 3 on a 6. Way too expensive. Way too expensive. Don't go any higher than the Anya, please, people. I've still got my Anya, by the way, and it still plays really nicely. I've had it now for 4, coming up to 5 years now, I suppose. 2017 I got it, it's now 2022, but 4.5 years maybe. Yeah, they're not suggesting an amplifier here, are they? But go for an LXR with that, it's nice. Still a lovely, lovely turntable, even with an Exact. That Exact cartridge is extremely good. Its stylus point is a vital stylus tip, and it just digs out so much detail. The Planner 8, updated version of my RP8, which I've still got. I've had that going on 10 years now. Have I? Not quite as long as that. 8 years. And the Planner 10 there, which I fancy. Yeah, and it looks like they're doing deals whereby you can get specific cartridges slightly cheaper if you buy them as an all-in-one. Right, let's have a little look at some amplifiers, because I think this is where there's been some new developments. Right, so we've got this new I/O thing here. It has an integrated phono stage. Let me have a look and see how many inputs it's got on it. An integrated phono stage, a headphone socket, a mini remote control, all new custom designed chassis. I think they've done a lot of redesigning of chassis. Yeah, I want to see how many inputs it's got on it. It's got one phono input and 2 line inputs. That's enough for most people. Really is enough for most people. If you want to plug your record player in, your Planner 1, plug a CD player in, or a DAC. If you plug a DAC in, make sure it's got a USB so that then you can take that out to a computer. You've got a fantastic sound system there for really not a lot of money. I think if you bought that amplifier on its own, I think it's about £400, which it sounds a lot of money, but it actually isn't for the kind of engineering you're getting there and for the sound that you're getting there. Let's go back here. I think everything else here, view all it says here. I think everything else here, the Brio, the Alexar, but look, it's Brio, Alexar, Ethos, and Osiris. That Osiris is now as old as the hills. But what's gone? My poor Illicit R. Like the Phono Moving Magnet Mark V and the Phono Moving Coil Mark II. We've talked about Phono stages for, you know, we're as old as the hill. We're on the Aria Mark III. I've got a Mark I Aria. It's still working as good as new. It still does the job. I don't doubt that Rega have improved on it since then, but I think, you know, buying an Aria Mark III, it's this aura that I really want, this moving coil thing. It's expensive, it's really expensive, but if I had, you know, money falling out of the sky, which you're all going to give me by liking and subscribing to my channel, but yeah, I would get an aura because it's just beautiful, and it's got a mono switch on it as well, which is just great for cutting out all of the crackly background noise on vintage records, of which I have a lot and which I play a lot. So yeah, I would like one of those if anyone just wants to like and subscribe to the channel and give me millions of views. I'd be very grateful. Yeah, let's have a little look at that. We have talked about it before. It's not a new product. But look at it, isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? We can just see if we can zoom into one of these pictures. Is there a gallery somewhere? I apologise for my neighbours. Here's a gallery. Let's have a look at these. Look at those switches on there. Much better than the switches on their amplifiers. I have to say, Rega, you need to sort those out. That push button that is the source selector and remote control on the Illicit R is as old as the Mira 3 that I used to have, and that was irritating because you never knew for 1 second whether or not you were on the source selector or the volume, and you could suddenly give yourself a bit of a shock. Although, having said that, there is the remote control. But look at that, it's gorgeous, isn't it? There's that lovely mono button. You've even got a mute there. And a gain switch. But yeah, amazing. Just gorgeous. I really want it. You've even got balanced and unbalanced outputs there. But your amplifier would have to have balanced inputs, I think. I don't know whether the Ethos has got balanced inputs. Let me have a little look. I doubt it. Seriously doubt it. Let's go back. Back. This is becoming a bit of a random shizzle, isn't it? I had actually intended to keep it a little bit more focused than this, but never mind. Right, let's have a look at the outputs on here. Here's the back of it. Or inputs. No, they're just line inputs. They look very good line inputs, but they are just line inputs. Right. Let me have a look at some more products. So we've seen those phono stages, really. Right, this Saturn Mark III. This is brand new. This is brand new, and probably the reason why I'm on here talking about Rega again, because they've made this lovely new CD player. Now, TBH, I don't think it's going to make me want to hunt down the back of my settee for disused £5 and £10 notes that doubtless have been hiding down there since 2018 or something. No, it's not, because I have got the first Saturn R, and it is great. It does exactly the same as this. What they've done here, they've upgraded the casework. They have tweaked. It's more of a tweak than a completely new redesign or anything like that. I think, you know, it's the same as all of the other sort of new products like the Aria 3 and the Phono Mark 5 or whatever. They're basically just tweaks, just to sort of keep things up, or maybe when a particular component runs out, they have to do a quick redesign and a tweak just to make sure that they can keep it in production. But these won't exactly woo the pants out off you, but you know, it is keeping it not sort of better. So they've upgraded the USB. I don't know whether or not the DAC is slightly different in the in the first Saturn R. I have a feeling that it's a twin DAC in the first Saturn R. Yeah, it's a pair. Yeah, they are twin DACs, exactly the same, in other words, as the Saturn R, except that they might be slightly different DAC converters. But having said that, it's no biggie. It's no biggie. It doesn't add any features. It's a slightly different look. Says he, turning around to just have a quick look at mine. But yeah. And actually, again, people might be better off getting a DAC, which is just a simple digital to analog converter. Might be the way forward. A lot of people now are getting rid of their CD players, and it's turned out to be not the exactly reliable medium that it was purported to be in the 80s, and a lot of CDs are sort of pretty variable quality. And when you get a bad quality CD, you get a bad quality CD. If you get a bad quality record, they're usually not as bad as a bad quality CD player. But having said that, or a bad quality CD, but having said that, this is a beautiful example of the craft. It is amazing. Listening to any music through it, and even listening to streaming through it and stuff like that, it is just amazing. So yeah, you can't go wrong with it if you want a CD player. If you're not fussed about getting a CD player, but you want to be able to stream digital music from a service like Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon, then just get a DAC. The thing that has really drawn my attention to this, right, complementary components, the LXR. Right, now the LXR amplifier, I've talked about the differences between the LXR and the Illicit R till the cows come home on other videos. Please look at those. But I did use my Saturn R with my LXR. I did use it, and it did sound good. But I would just say that the extra sort of lump of refinement that comes with using the Illicit R instead is really beneficial, and it just turns it from chalk into cheese. Right, the LXR is a great sounding amplifier. It's a very energetic style of amplifier, and I think the Ethos is a beefed up LXR. Really, it's they seem to voice their amplifiers in different ways depending on where you are in the range, and with the LXR, you've only got to have the volume turned right down for it to be ear-splitting level. Whereas with the Illicit R, you can turn it up and it might still be loud. It might still be ear-splitting level. But it's much more civilised, and you can give it a lot more welly without it becoming coarse and, you know, you're thinking, oh God, am I annoying the neighbours kind of thing. And I think the Ethos has the same volume circuit in as the LXR, which means that it's another one of those where you can never really feel justified in turning the wick up, Uh, it's what's the word? A dual mono amplifier. The Ethos is, so it will sound a lot more refined. It will sound a lot more easygoing. I haven't heard it. We've had a COVID pandemic, and in case anyone's wondered, we haven't got any money, and so therefore, I would really have liked to have heard it, but I don't feel justified in making a trip all the way to, Brighton, which is over an hour away, to sit and listen to something that I'm not going to buy. And it's a shame, but no one's got any money, so I can only but imagine. But imagining what this is going to sound like from the descriptions, I think it's a beefed up Elex R. So why haven't they recommended the complementary components of the Illicit R? Because they've stopped making the Illicit R, haven't they? Why have they done that? Because I think somewhere here, yes, look, this ensures the Saturn Mark III integrates perfectly into any system and provides the perfect partner for the forthcoming Rega Illicit Mark V integrated amplifier. So we are getting a new updated Illicit Mark V, which I'm pleased with, because otherwise that left a gaping hole in their product line, from the relatively cheap laptop priced Elexar to the sort of multi-million Apple Mac Pro priced Ethos. So I think really that's probably all that there is that is new. We've got this Rega Kite new loudspeaker, but I've spoken about this before. These tiny little speakers here, they've got their own little built-in speaker stands. They're perfect for any student just to stick them on a desk and just play them. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to have proper speaker stands or wall brackets or anything like that. They'll just go on a desk and they'll sound their best, provided, they're a few feet apart, give you really good stereo, and just be, fantastic. All right, so I think that's probably all I wanted to say to you today. Thank you for listening. Do consider subscribing. It's not often that I post a video on Hi-Fi these days because, there really isn't an awful lot to say at the moment. However, as and when, then I will put up more, and I'll also refer people back to my much older videos that I've made when I was putting together my Hi-Fi system. All right, so I'll see you later. Thank you for listening. Bye. Let's turn this thing off.